Okay, I got to be completely real with you guys, and I know that a lot of people won't agree with this.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
Before we get started, I really apologize. My washing machine is so loud, and I know the mic is picking it up. I just want to apologize before we get into it. So we're talking about the San Antonio Spurs recent W's because quite a few people have hit me up and they were like, "Clan, why the heck are you talking about Josh Primo? The San Antonio Spurs are winning." And I hear you, I understand, but you also have to keep in mind that this is one of the biggest controversies that we've had since Kawhi Leonard. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. And if anybody would talk about Josh Primo, it would be me. Like, if I talked about him just as much as I did when I was, praising him, obviously, when something like this goes down, something as insane as this, I'm gonna talk about it until we kind of get it all figured out, because I'm just really curious to what was going on this entire time. I'm curious about this case, and I know it's only gonna go downhill from here. So I'm just trying to keep you updated on that. But with that being said, obviously I still have to talk about my San Antonio Spurs. Okay, so they're getting a lot of W's right now, but I'm gonna be real with you, and you guys not gonna like this, but don't drink the Kool-Aid. Please, just relax. I'm seeing so many people on Twitter like getting so excited about this team. And don't get me wrong, it is an exciting team. Like, they play really hard. The fact that Pop can sit so many different players and they still go out there and compete, it speaks volumes of their character. It speaks volumes of Pop as a coach. I understand all that. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be real with you. The San Antonio Spurs don't have a star. And I don't know if a star is going to emerge this season, but we do not have one. The Popovich has said it. I think that is pretty apparent. And into this next draft, we have some of the best talent that we've seen in a long time. Even if the Spurs got Scoot, that will be an incredible pickup going forward. And now that Josh Primo is out, now that he's completely gone from the team, rightfully so, I think we need to sit back and say, okay, we definitely need a shot creator. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, before you get upset and before you get angry, this is something that was tweeted out by Noah. Big shout out to Noah. He's really good with the stats. But Keldon Johnson has the second fewest self-created field goals amongst the 43 players, averaging at least 20 points per game right now. And obviously not a knock. In fact, it speaks to his ability to get to his spots within the flow of an offense and nail catch and shoot threes with minimal daylight. It really does, okay? But I keep saying this. This is not going to get us to the promised land. At the end of the day, what the Spurs have right now is a lot of good foundational players. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I think about this, okay? I'm not even going to go over this game that much because I think the team played phenomenal or whatever. But this is what I'm going to say, okay? I see this team as the same narrative that Spurs fans would say back in the day. Like, I don't know if you guys recall this, and maybe some like the newer Spurs fans don't know about this, but when we had Tim Duncan, Manu, Tony Parker, shoot, even Kawhi, and Popovich will go out there and sit all of those players, the narrative around it was we could still win. The narrative around that was Popovich could take any team and make it to the playoffs, or at the very least get close to the playoffs. Everyone said this back in the day. I think that you're discrediting the big three just a little bit, but everyone said that. And I think that that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing a team where the foundation is there. You have a whole bunch of really, really good role players and guys that are going out there and playing their hearts out, and you can compete with just about anybody. But at the end of the day, you're missing your Tim Duncan. You're missing your Manu. You're missing your Tony. And you could disagree with me all you want, but over the course of these last 4 years, that's just what I've seen. I've seen a team where we don't necessarily have that go-to guy. Like, even DeMar DeRozan couldn't necessarily get us there. And DeJounte Murray, I would say that DJ is still better than a lot of the players on this team. Maybe you can make an argument for Keldon being better than DJ, but DJ couldn't get you there either. You need a star. And I think as time goes on, oh, thanks for subscribing, Tay. But I think as time goes on, what we're gonna end up seeing is this team is gonna eventually start losing. Now, I'm not sitting here saying sit back and be like super sad that we're winning. I'm not saying that, but I am seeing quite a few people get their hopes up and saying, wow, maybe this is good enough. Maybe Keldon Johnson is a star. Maybe Devin Vassell will be a super. No, 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 no. That's not the case right now. I'm watching the games, and here's just proof for you right there. A lot of these points are setups. It's really good offense. It's really good passing the ball. It's really good teammates and whatnot. But at the end of the day, it's a lot of setup for Keldon. It's a lot of setup for Devin Vassell. But with that being said, okay, let's go ahead and get out of the Debbie Downer narrative that I got going, okay? I'm going to go ahead and talk about the positives because obviously good foundation or whatnot, but I do think they're going to be limited when it's all said and done. And we're going into a draft where we don't want to miss out, okay? I'm just throwing that out there. But let's talk about the positives. KBD, he is showing more and more each game where I sit back and I'm like, you know what? You will be a really good swing guy. Like a guy that we can just kind of, not swing guy, I'm sorry, a rotational guy. A guy that you can bring in at power forward, shoot, even sometimes center. But I was actually shocked because they put him at small forward a couple times and he did not look bad whatsoever. So big kudos to KBD. He's been playing pretty well on both ends of the court. I kind of like what I'm seeing there. Keldon Johnson's doing Keldon Johnson type things. I expect nothing less from him. Jakob Poeltl, I don't know if the Spurs are going to keep Jakob, but if Jakob is gone, he's going to make another team really, really good. I really hope that if he's not with the Spurs, he can be with a team that's championship caliber so he can get him a ring. Because if he was with the Warriors or something, like, oh my goodness, dude, I don't know. Trey Jones, he struggled a little bit this game, but no big deal. I keep saying this about Trey Jones. People like hate that I say this, but I just think he's a really solid point guard. He's a guy that he can start at point, especially if you have, well, he can do it now, but especially if you have some stars around him, he's going to be nasty. Like even if you think back at Duke, you put some stars around him, he's a really good glue guy there. Romeo Langford, OMG. His defense is absolutely phenomenal. And that's probably a separate video by itself. But not only Popovich has praised it, but his teammates is praising his defense too. Oh my goodness. I'm really considering maybe saying that he's a better defender than Sohan. No, I'm not going that far. Of course not. But he's a great defender. I'm actually blown away by it. So all the Celtics fans that came to this channel and said, hey man, wait till you see what Romeo Langford can do. I'm finally seeing it. Really, really good stuff. But anyways, moving on. Zach Collins. I like what I'm seeing from Zach Collins. For the most part, he's kind of seeing his limitations here. So he's not necessarily like just trying to be a dominant force in the paint, because let's just be honest, those injuries kind of hindered him a little bit. But I am seeing him at least set up for three, take some more outside shots, and that's good to see. He's knocking down at least a 3 a game, and that's all you can ask for a guy like him. Doug McDermott last game, he's gonna, every now and then you're gonna see Doug McDermott do something like this. I mean, he is a pure sharpshooter after all. But 7 for 14 from 3. But yeah, good stuff. Jang barely played. Malachi Branham, he's a rookie. He looked like a rookie. Now this is one thing that I'm afraid of, and I know that I said I was gonna only do positives here, but this is something I'm a little afraid of with Malachi. So he went 1 for 7, and this is no knock on him, okay? This is not his fault. But I am afraid that, is Malachi Branham gonna have to be the guy where you give him the ball and not necessarily get out of the way, but he's gonna have to be like a primary ball handler to be extra effective? I don't know. I mean, he's a good catch and shooter as well, but I think that you get the most out of him if he can kind of run the show a little bit. But that wasn't the case this game. It was more so, hey, just spot up, get out the way, which makes a lot of sense, especially with him not playing like a lick of basketball, right? So obviously, you know, that's what you kind of wanted. But yeah, I do worry about that just a little bit, but it's probably fine. I'm probably just tripping. Blake Wesley, decent game. He ended up getting hurt. But hey, fortunately, nothing was there. Came back negative. He hurt his knee, hyperextended his knee. But yeah, he's fine. So overall, I do like what I'm seeing from the San Antonio Spurs. They're playing hard. They're coming in to play, but at the same time, let's just calm down a little bit. The Timberwolves weren't necessarily playing that hard. I watched them. They were not playing that hard whatsoever. They shot 13% from 3. Oh my God, that's god awful. I didn't even know it was that bad. But yeah, they weren't playing that hard. They were playing pretty soft, if I say so myself. But overall, the Spurs, they're going to come out to play. They're going to go and punch you in the mouth. And I just believe that as time goes on, you're not going to be able to keep it up. This team's going to get a little tired. You're going to go against teams that have a little bit more cohesion, and yeah, the talent's just going to kind of take over there. But enjoy it while you can. I'm just trying to warn you guys, don't drink the Kool-Aid just yet. That's just my take. Just don't drink it. I think that it's time for us to think about the future. And I think that even Popovich is attempting to tank early, but obviously that is not the case. But we're 5-2. Spurs are playing really well. I like the effort, but at the end of the day, it's not going to help us to make a play in, which I'm not saying they will. Yeah, I'm rambling. All right, I'll get with you guys later, man. If you want to support the channel, clanthemerchfan.com, link in the description. Until next time, man. Bye.